how much are you buying Bryce Young's, I don't even know if I want to call it like I think a legit revival at the end of last year, because he played so much better where he was just a non-functional quarterback in his rookie and then the first couple games of his second season. Like what do you think Bryce Young's ceiling is, and does he even really count in this exercise?
And we're all about cheating on this show, right? I mean, we're just trying to get you some stats. And Bryce Young, the last 7 games of last year, if we include week 18, which not everybody would do, quarterback 6, 5 rushing touchdowns, which was something I'm not sure how portable that is, how sticky that is, how sustainable that is for him. But his passing metrics were all improved. And it just goes to a quarterback with better coaching, with more confidence. And look at what he was doing it with. I mean, I'm an Adam Thielen fan, but I mean, mid-30s receiver as your best target. Now they have McMillan coming in. Hubbard had a breakout year. They've added more talent in that backfield. Rico Dotto is an interesting player. Decent offensive line, a division that's up for grabs too, by the way. I mean, I could see not the Saints, but I could see the other 3 teams all competing. I think Carolina has a chance to maybe steal this division. So if you think McMillan, to me, if I'm going to proactively draft Young, that demands that McMillan is a factor in year one. And rookie receivers, it's always kind of a little bit of a risky bet. And I'm curious how he charted for you or what you expect from McMillan right away. But Canales, even if Canales isn't Liam Cohen, maybe Liam Cohen was really the brains in Tampa Bay. I still think Canales is a good coach. And I love that his team got so much better in the second half of the year. You look at embarrassed, we talked about in that first game against New Orleans. It looked like a really bad team. And Young was benched last year for Andy Dalton, a little bit to save Young from himself because he was just so confused at that point. And it just looked like his career was really in a horrible place. And then he comes back more confident, more accurate, better pocket decisions. And also Canales got him those layup throws that they didn't seem to scheme for him in his rookie year, Young's rookie year. It's so crazy how CJ Stroud, he was the right answer, number 2 pick. Bryce Young, he's a bust, number 1 pick. And then everything is different in their second seasons, in part because of the context. But I believe in Canales. The thing with Young is I just don't think the running stats are going to carry over those rushing touchdowns. Those feel fluky to me.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be an efficient player and he's going to beat his ADP. I just don't think he's necessarily a seismic guy to target. He's somebody you're going to get at quarterback 23, and he's probably going to end up being like quarterback 16. You'll be like, oh yeah, super flex. Bryce Young was useful. As a backup, Bryce Young was useful. I don't think he has the juice to get into the top
10. Yeah, probably like a good ideal QB2 and super flex as you kind of laid out there. I love taking him in that format. It does stand out, and I'm glad that you highlighted Tet McMillan, T-Mac as he wants to go by, as kind of like the pivot point player here, because again, the theme with Geno, with Baker, with Darnold was they had these good veteran receivers in the prime of their careers. Justin Fields has one of those guys, literally just one, but he has one of those guys in New York in Garrett Wilson. Daniel Jones has a couple in Indianapolis and Michael Pittman. Josh Downs, I think, is just on such an upward trajectory, future superstar in the league. And there's some useful pass catchers like Alec Pierce has his role. Obviously, again, Warren, really rookie tight end, but like veteran receivers. Bryce does not really have those guys. Got Adam Thielen, but Adam Thielen is like my age, which now at this point means you're in a troubling spot at the wide receiver position. So he's not bright and young at this point. He's not in the prime of his career, but he played really well last season. Don't want to take that away from him. Xavier Legette, we're hoping that a role change for him kind of gives him a good second season, but the rookie product was middling at best, to be nice. They've got interesting guys on the roster like Jalen Coker, but young, unproven type guys. And then there's McMillan, drafted 8th overall, and I thought was just an awesome X receiver prospect. But is he ready to have like a Brian Thomas Jr. rookie season? Maybe. I think that is within the range of outcomes. Maybe not. Okay, like Brian Thomas Jr. efficiency season, we'll see. But good prospect. Think he can start at X receiver at day one, which is going to settle everybody else into roles that fit their game. So I agree with you that if Young is going to have a season like a Sam Darnold where he vaults into being one of the 10 most productive quarterbacks, I do think that McMillan has to be like an instant hit because this defense is they added some guys, but it's still a problem. And there's a lot of problematic defenses in the NFC South. Like there should be a lot of really high scoring games in this division. And I do think based on what we saw last year, Bryce can be a guy that can keep pace in those games, whether he ever develops into like a top 10 NFL quarterback or not.
Yeah, we had an earlier discussion during the offseason about carnival teams, those teams that can move the ball and their defenses are so bad that they play in regular shootouts. And we just identified the NFC South as the Falcons could be like that, and the Panthers could be like that, and the Buccaneers could be like that. So this would be a fun division for fantasy. As far as Young's ultimate resting point for ranking and where he'll finish this year, what do you make of the rushing production that he did last year? How much of that do you think is sustainable or sticky carrying over to 25?
Yeah, I think that his play as a scrambler last season was revelatory down the stretch. I don't think he'll, obviously with his size, he'll never be like a designed runner, but the word confidence really exuded from Bryce's game at the end of last year. And it was completely absent, right, in his rookie year. And like, as a prospect, he played with a lot of confidence. He played like, I'm not, 5'10", 100 and whatever he's listed at pounds. Like he plays like a big dude and can like reset in the pocket, or he makes the decision to turn into a scrambler really fast and processes that well. So I think a lot of it comes down to touchdowns. Like, is he going to be a guy that they're inside the 10-yard line? It's a passing play. Nobody's open. I've got some quick pressure. I run in like a touchdown here or there. So I think he's a guy that's probably going to hover between like 3 and 5 touchdowns, which if you're going to throw the ball at a high rate and be a really productive passer, that's good enough to be a QB1 in fantasy. I think I'm skeptical, obviously, of just the ecosystem being ready to support him in that regard.
Other than McMillan, what receiver would you be most interested in drafting at his current market value?
Like none of them, to use your term, would be like a proactive pick.
Mm-hmm.
I think Thielen should be the favorite to outproduce like Legette. And again, we'll see what Coker's role is. Coker probably is their future guy in the slot when Thielen moves on, which is probably going to be at the end of the season, but probably not going to be a factor this year. I think like Legette would be a guy I wouldn't mind throwing a late round best ball pick at, but I don't know that he's going to have any like season long stability and startability in fantasy.
Yeah, Thielen turns 35 in late August, so it's just hard to bet on guys at that age. He's going to be a great coach someday. I'd love him. Like, you think of, we always talk about Ohio State receivers, right? And Brian Hartline is the coach, former NFL player. He's doing a great job with those guys. I'd love to see, Adam Thielen can do whatever he wants in his retirement, but I'd love to see him run a a wide receiver room or quarterback room in college. I think he'd be a really good offensive coach.
Yeah, I hope he's rubbing off on some of these guys here, because obviously this is a really young room outside of him. Like, the age gap between Thielen and everybody else is huge. So I'm very excited about the Panthers offense. I don't know that that Bryce Young like really fits into this exercise, because I think he kind of turned the ship around late last year, but worth discussing in this regard.